Munson with Munson Music. I'm going to talk about how you play a song called Angel in Blue Jeans. And we're going to walk through some fingerstyle options and some strumming options just so you can find a way that works for you. And we're going to start off with that intro progression on an A minor chord. And normally you do this first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the D second fret, and third finger on the G second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord and it sounds really sad. Now around A minors in general, though, you may want to think about lifting the first finger, making that an A suspended second. Or you could add in the pinky on the B string third for an A suspended and kind of say some stuff around the A minor. Or randomly you may also dig on lifting off the third finger, making it an A minor 7. Or you could add in the pinky on the high E third for an A minor 7. Or you might even dig on an A7 sus by doing first finger on the D second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. Sounds slightly more unresolved, but you may kind of dig on that sound. And then from the A minor, we'd be going to a C major chord. Normally we'd use first finger on the B first fret, second finger on the D second fret, third finger on the A string third fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, the happy sounds of C major. Now you may also dig on lifting off the first finger and making that a C major 7. We're adding in the pinky on the B string third for a C major 9 and kind of say some stuff around it. Or another way to play C major 9, we'll be doing first finger on the D second, second finger on the A string third, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, kind of working out for your C major. And then from the C we'd be going to a G major chord. You normally do this first finger on the A second, second finger on the low E third, third finger on the high E third. If you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord. Or you may want to put third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, and kind of working out for your G major. And you'll definitely hear a little piece of kind of those broken fingerstyle ideas around a bar chord G, or a little piece of it, where you could do third fret bar, second finger on the G fourth, third finger on the A fifth, pinky on the D fifth. Kind of working just the top 4 strings actually kind of around that arpeggio lick. And then from the G, we'd be going to a D major chord. And normally you do this first finger on the G second, second finger on the high E second, third finger on the B third. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, the beautiful sounds of D major. Now you may also dig on lifting off the second finger and making that a D sus 2. Or you could add in the pinky on the high E third for a D suspended chord and kind of say some stuff around D. And there are definitely some points in the tune where you'll also hear the low E string on the second fret come out as a bass note on that chord, and that's called D slash F sharp, or a D with an F sharp in the bass, which you could also do as kind of a D sus slash F sharp by doing first finger on the low E second, second finger on the G second, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, kind of working that for the D. And there are a couple different strumming options if you're kind of interested in working the strums. You could work almost kind of an 8 down count on each chord, kind of A minor 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, C, G. I'm adding a little bit of muting to make that a little sneaky. Or you could do one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, down, up. So if you did A minor, just tried that a lot. You have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. So we tried that through that intro progression. A minor, C, G, D. Or a cool variation that could be down, up, down, up. Try some variations of that. There are also some points in the tune where you hear these really cool rhythmic build-ups on something I call the gallop rhythm. It's kind of William Tell overture time here. So what you could do is kind of a down, down, up 4 times for each chord. Kind of down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, C, G, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, D. Almost like a little horse is kind of galloping across your string right now. But that's kind of related to something called a 16th note strum pattern, which you could also use. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. So kind of a 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the A minor and do it down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you'd be doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you do a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up. an up on 2, down on 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 up, down, 1 up, down, 1 up, down. And then on the last beat, you go down, up, down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, 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 down. So all together, you got down, 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 down. Which would be very fast for the tune, but if you get really excited like I do, you may want to think about kind of using that strum pattern. Now through that intro though, actually something else that I like to add to is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the A minor, you'd have the A for the bass. On the C, you'd have the A for the bass. On the G, you'd have the low E for the bass. And on the D, you'd have the D for the bass, unless you're doing the D slash F sharp, in which case you'd have the low E for the bass. So you could try it as a bass down, up, down, up. And you'd have the A minor, C, if you're interested in doing this fingerstyle, now we're kind of relating to the actual licks. Your thumb becomes your bass player for the E and the A and the D string, and what you may want to do is line up your index finger on the G string, middle finger on the B string, and ring finger on the high E string. So it's a division of labor. Thumb's job is to play the bass notes. So for the A minor, it'd be the A string, and then the index middle ring's job is to kind of play the G string, B string, and E string respectively. And the main arpeggio, actually, you'll almost hear some spots where it almost feels like kind of a bass, fingers together kind of an idea. And you may want to just try that by itself. You'll hear other spots through that intro where it sounds like it's doing a thumb, index, and then middle ring together. So you may want to kind of take that idea and just kind of work it for itself too. And through that part, actually, you kind of start on the A minor, and you may want to do kind of the thumb, fingers, thumb, index, fingers, kind of an idea. And then you hear this cool little bass line where you do the open A, the second on the A, into a C chord with that same idea, into a little piece of the G chord where we're doing the bar, and you may want to just do this a half bar of the E and B, 2 on the G string, 4, third finger on the D, 5th. This little G chord, little piece of G chord. Same idea with the right hand, and then you have the D kind of working that idea too. So you may want to kind of play around with that kind of A minor, thumb, fingers, thumb, index, middle, thumb, fingers, bass line into the C, C, G, G, D. And I know that happens really fast, but if you dig on fingerstyle ideas, and then from there, we'll be going into our chorus part. And our chorus starts on an F major chord. We'll talk about some really easy ways to play this, but normally you kind of and randomly on the from the intro, we kind of be using that for our verse twice. And you will hear this cool little bass line where you play open D to second fret on the D string on the D chord. So on the last D chord, you may want to throw in that O2 on the D string to lead into the F chord. But normally you do F as a first fret bar, second finger on the G second, third finger on the A third, pinky on the D third. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an F major chord. It sounds really, really happy. And if you're just starting out, you're trying to avoid bar chords, you can substitute that. It can be an F major 7, which you can play first finger on the B first, second finger on the G second, third finger on the D third, and if you strum the D string to the high E string, the groovy sound of F major. Now you may also dig on an F major 13, especially if you're digging on some of those other voicings, by doing first finger on the G second, second finger on the D third, third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third. It's more of a happier kind of an F. And we start out with that F. We got kind of our F, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, C. And then we go to a G chord. And then we go to our A minor. Then back to F, C. But then we go to a D minor chord. And normally you do this first finger on the high E first fret, second finger on the G second fret, third finger on the B string third fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, the sad sounds of D minor. It's the flattest key is what Beethoven used to say. Now you may also dig on lifting off the first finger, making that a D sus2, or adding in the pinky on the high E third for D suspended chord. And then from the D minor, then we go to an E major chord. And normally you do this first finger on the G first fret, second finger on the A second, third finger on the D second. If you strum all those together, that sounds like an E major chord. It sounds really happy. Now you may also dig on taking the pinky and adding it on the G string second fret. You'll definitely hear some spots in the tune where you kind of play that E, that's called an E sus, to the E major, and it kind of resolves. So you want to use that on your E major chords. Or you may want to dig on lifting off the third finger, making that an E7. Kind of get a lot of bite that way. Or you could add in the pinky on the B string third, or even more bite on the E major. So if we tried that with our down, down, up, you have the F, C, or those variations. A minor, F, C, D minor, E major, kind of through the chorus. Or if you're digging on the 16th idea, you could work kind of that F. And this is weird. Well, yeah, it's just really fast, right? So F, C, G, A minor, F, C, D minor, E major. Or if you're digging on the fingerstyle idea, you could carry that over into the chorus, kind of that F. Let's see. Following your basses. E minor, E. So you could kind of experiment with that too. And then from there, then we go into kind of a chorus tag, our first chorus tag. We start on the A minor, C, G, we got an F, another F, and an A minor, and then you'll hear this cool little bass line on the A minor, where you could play 3 on the A, second on the A, open A, and then third on the low E. So if you wanted to, you can kind of throw that in. A minor, 3, 2, 0, 3, to lead into our next verse. Or if you're digging on the bass down, up, down, up, you'd have A minor, C, if you're on the 16th, you could add basses to that too. And you can make it a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down. It's just really fast through that part. It's the A minor, C, G, F, A minor with a bass, down, down, up, 3, 2, verse. Or if you're digging on the fingerstyle idea, you could work it that way too. Kind of A minor, C, G, F, A minor, and then 3, 2, 0, 3. We'll kind of get you in. So it becomes a bass thing at the end. 3, 2, 0, 3, or thumb thing. It's a thumb thing, man. You wouldn't understand. 3, 2, 0, 3. And then from there, then we go back into our verse. And you can do that any of those ways that we've been talking about. A minor, C, G, A minor, C, G, D. And then you may want to throw in that O2 to lead into our chorus part. And then we have F, C, then we go into our second chorus tag. And on our second chorus tag, actually this kind of becomes the outro later. It's kind of our A minor, C, G, F, our bridge part. On our bridge, we start on the G, and then we go to D minor, and then our F, and then A minor, G, D minor, F, and then E major, E sus. Definitely hear that in there too. Or if you're doing on the 16th idea, you'd have a G, Fingerstyle idea, you'd have the G, D minor, F, A minor, G, D minor, F, E. And then from there, they'll be going into our last verse. So you have A minor, C, that G, we want to kind of kill the strings. And then from there, then we go into our last chorus. So back to the F, C, G, A minor, F, C, D minor, E. And then from there, then we go into our outro part. It's kind of like our second chorus tag. A minor, C, G, F, A minor, C, G, play the third on the A, second on the A, open A, and then third on the low E to lead into an A minor chord at the very end. So the last time through, you're going to do the F down, up, 3, 2, O, 3, A minor. Or if you're digging on the 16th, you'd have the F down, down, up, 3, 2, O, 3, A minor. Or if you're digging on the fingerstyle, let's see, oh, you really could just do one time on the thumb fingers, 3, 2, O, 3, A minor timing wise. Oh, wow, I want to start from the other string. Yeah, that's what you want. A minor at the very end. But that's the basics of how you can strum through and kind of work a lot of the licks as fingerstyle licks to Angel and Blue Jeans by Train. So good luck!